My neighbor, 2 doors down, drives to my house one day. He said, I turned to the little girl and told her to put her clothes back on. And she said, no, I have to have the money. I can't go home to my mama without the money. And he said, I'm gonna give you your money, just put your clothes back on when it's time to go. He's buying a girl that's somebody's daughter that right here in our own community. I grew up in Pewee Valley, Kentucky. When I was 8 years old, I was building a fence. I told God, if you help me drive this nail through this piece of oak, that in church, I'd go up front and accept you as my savior. and he kept his part of the deal. Through the years, I had an interest in drawing and design and went to a construction technology school out in California. My professor said, you should be an architect. And I started the company I have now. One day we were in a staff meeting. One of the guys presented a TED Talk on the why of a business. And I got my Bible out, I wrote a bunch of my favorite business books, and I wrote down, we desire to glorify God in everything that we do. So we developed this culture over the years of, if you come to work at Encompass, come to work knowing that today we're going to change a life. I had a lunch planned with Brian Seitz, the pastor of LaGrange campus. He said, hey, John, my wife Chris had just gone to Baltimore and met with the Samaritan women. He said, I really think something big is going to happen in LaGrange here. I just feel that. And I said, Brian, I don't know anything about sex trafficking. I live in a bubble, but if that's a door that gets open, I'll jump right in with you. And I got a call and said, hey, do you want to go with us up to Baltimore and visit this shelter that's there? And I said, sure, I'd love to learn more. So I didn't know this stuff really happened like in my own neighborhood. My neighbor, 2 doors down, drives to my house one day, and he comes in and he said, hey, John, come here, I want to talk to you. And we sit down on my back porch. So what's up? And told me that he was basically admitted that he was a buyer. That day, he had somebody with him. This is 2 doors from my house in LaGrange. I had no clue that stuff was that close. And opened my eyes to God saying, you got to do something. It's even in your neighborhood. It's that close to you. You know, we design and build in the hospitality industry. Through some of that learning, we had the opportunity now not only to build a hotel, but to train the staff on what to look for in looking at those that have been trafficked or those that are being trafficked or to the traffickers. So the business all of a sudden now is integrated with this mission. This fight against trafficking, it has to be one at a time. We can look across the nation and say there's millions of people across the world that are being trafficked right now. And now we're building an innovation lab to do research to change the lives through the design of these shelters. The first time a woman will ever walk in the door of a place that's safe. A lot of times that first night, that person may go to a hotel, not exactly always the best place to go. So we said, well, there's an apartment available. What if we just grab that apartment? And so there are 2 ladies right now that are in the apartment because of our business, because of what we're building in St. Louis right now, or what we're building in Fort Lauderdale right now. We're able to change a life. I know when I walk in those places, I know that those places are gonna make a difference for somebody. This trafficking stuff is everywhere. And there's a lot of great people doing some amazing things that are part of this church in anti-trafficking and survivor care. But we need a whole lot more at our team members every day that can tell, I went to work, I did accounting today. You know what that did? That there's a lady in an apartment today that's being cared for because I went and did accounting for a project that's in Fort Lauderdale today. What's important is what I gave when we were working one-on-one with somebody who has been trafficked. And so it's become a passion. I think the Move initiative takes that to another level. I hope there's more and more businesses that look at this and say, this can be a ministry. This is for profit. And what am I going to do with all the profit? Let's do something with it. The Move initiative is going to help me live that way. And my wife and I live that way every day. And hopefully it translates into every other aspect of our lives.